So you're no stranger to knives, and you figure you've already found the coolest tactical blades around? Well, these top-tier Tops knives are about to prove you wrong and make you wonder how they slipped under your radar. Let's get started. Born from the success of Machete, Tops Knives has scaled down the legendary cleaver machete hybrid by 1/3 to create the Lil Cheta, a more compact fixed-blade version that keeps the blade shape that made the original a legend, but packages it in a form that more users can carry for prolonged outdoor work. The Machete Mini spans 13.88 inches in total, meaning it's 26% smaller than the original. Despite its smaller size, you still get a lot of usable blades, with the thing clocking in at 7.88 inches. The full-tang construction's been brought to life in 1095 carbon steel that's been rated at 56 to 58 HRC for hardness on the Rockwell scale. And while the Machete Mini may be 26% smaller than the full-size model, its blade stock is as thick as the original's quarter-inch stock, which allows the smaller variant to still easily stand up to hard-use tasks. The cleaver-inspired blade's been sandwiched between a set of grippy, textured canvas micarta scales. On top of featuring a bow drill divot, the handle also sports a massive notch separating the carrier's trigger and middle fingers, as well as a notch below the pinky to further bolster grip. Just like the original Machete, the little Machete ships with a black, custom-fitted hard Kydex sheath. By maintaining the exact original design and simply scaling it down, the little Machete is much more portable and lightweight while still being a pretty proficient cutting and chopping tool. It also features Tops' usual brand of top-notch craftsmanship and build quality, which we also thoroughly appreciate. What happens when you take a beloved Ontario hunting blade and let Tops Knives beef it up? That's precisely the idea behind the Tops Ontario XL Hunter, which takes Ontario's iconic Old Hickory design and updates it for modern outdoors folks into one of the best all-around field knives out there. For the most part, Ontario's Old Hickory geometry remains intact. That means it retains its beefy blade with its long, curved cutting belly and clip point tip. That shape makes this a highly adept knife, capable of both forceful chopping and precision work, making it perfect for general outdoor use as well as more refined camp cooking. However, this version has a couple of tricks up its sleeve. Unlike the original, Tops has increased this one's thickness slightly, granting the blade even more strength and rigidity than before. The knife's made from 1095 steel, but also gets a Cerakote finish, adding even more durability and style. That finish is applied to the entire blade, and since it's a full-tang blade, it extends from tip to butt. The handle's constructed from a pair of red, heavy canvas micarta scales. Not only are these scales a lot more eye-catching, but they're also much better for outdoor conditions. The whole package measures 10 1/4 inches, 5.5 of which go to the blade. It also weighs 9 ounces, which is actually fairly lightweight for such a big, robust blade. The knife also comes with a leather sheath for easy hauling. And if you want to customize your knife even more, Tops offers additional serrations, a camo blade finish, and a grippier Rocky Mountain tread pattern for the handle scales. That said, even standard, this is a pretty exceptional do-it-all field knife. I'm happy to report that Tops Knives is just as adept at delivering everyday carry blades as it is full-sized field knives, at least if the Baja 3.0 is anything to go by. Clocking in at a stout 6 1/4 inches, the 3rd-gen Baja isn't just a downsized fixed blade, but rather a rigid knife that's been shortened in length while still basically sporting a full-sized height and width. Using a 0.13-inch thick 1095 high-carbon steel full-tang construction, the Baja 3.0 boasts an outstanding 3.0 handle design that just barely allows its carrier to wrap all 4 fingers around. The micarta scales offer a solid grip complemented by 3 diagonal grooves on each handle that further improve handling. The sheath is well made, featuring fairly thick leather and a durable double-stitched construction. Its ambidextrous design adds versatility, and it retains the knife securely. Its USA-made construction is excellent, its choice of materials is great, and the workhorse capabilities that it delivers are damn near in line with full-size fixed blades with full-finger handles. While the tactical side of Tops' business continues to thrive, the outdoors side keeps on booming. Tops Camp Creek fixed blades are based on the time-proven Nessmuck blade style, designed for skinning game without sacrificing utility around the camp. The blade is 9 inches in overall length, with 4.4 of the total devoted to a Nessmuk blade that would do its namesake proud. Premium Crucible Industries CPM S35VN stainless steel does the cutting chores, and its tumbled finish cuts down on reflectivity. The Camp Creek's full-tang handle offers finger grooves, and a protective guard flows off the blade and meets the upper handle for a comfortable grip. The ample handle scales are an attractive layered micarta layup of tan and brown, and there's a fat tubed lanyard hole at the base. It also comes in a stylish tan kydex sheath with a brown leather dangler. Designed by Lee Espinoza, this model is sure to be a welcome addition to any knife collection. This is the modern gladius, which quite obviously lives up to its name, translating the historic short sword into a comparatively compact cutting tool for today's users. Virtually all the signature elements of the ancient weapon are referenced here in the modern gladius. Its blade shape mimics the original, albeit in a much smaller size category, as this is a knife, not a sword. There's also a noticeable taper to the main edges as they move out towards the tip. Both blade flats are embellished with a pair of diagonally fullers, and the entire thing has the usual thick tops powder coat on top to keep the 1095 carbon steel rust-free. At this size, the Gladius blade seems calibrated for self-defense, but also comes across as a good choice for an unconventional, yet capable outdoors tool. A suggestion that seems reinforced by the fact that the kydex sheath comes with a dangler carry option. If you need to fight a bear or an insurgent, the full-size 12-inch Tops Knives Apache Down is the knife to choose. Many argue that the sheer strength of fixed blades makes them the best tactical knives for self-defense, and Tops Knives certainly delivers here in strength and durability. Weighing in at just under 1 pound, this knife has the heft, speed, and length needed to be an excellent all-around combat knife. The 6.75-inch blade is long enough to handle many heavy tasks, but it also has a finger choil so the user can choke up for more controlled cutting. It has a nice belly to the tip, which is great for skinning game. As a combat knife, the Apache Dawn excels. With the harpoon-style tip and the thin swedge, the spine pushes the blade down as it enters its target, making a wider cut and providing good penetration. The black G10 handles with Rocky Mountain tread and pronounced finger guard give a solid grip, especially when it's most crucial. The Apache Down also has an outstanding sheath system that provides multiple options for carrying. Tops Knives has roots in the military community, and this knife is as prepared for anything as a Special Forces soldier. On the surface, the Tops Kuma Takri looks like any other large survival knife, but there are lots of little details that make it incredibly versatile and effective in the field, such as dual spindle sockets for making a bow drill for starting a fire. There's also a small pry for scraping and lanyard hole at the butt of the handle. Another smart feature on the blade is a partial back edge for reverse swings. This secondary edge will naturally see less frequent use than the primary edge, and thus can serve as a backup sharp edge if the main edge becomes dulled and field sharpening isn't feasible. This is a sturdy survival knife with a substantial 7-inch blade. Everything about it looks like it'll stand up to some serious use, and it does. Its full-tang frame is built out of 1095 high-carbon steel with a thin strip of black linen micarta handle for weight reduction. The belly of the blade is deep for chopping firewood and shelter building. The blade also features what the designer calls shark tooth serrations for blocking, ripping, and tearing bush, cord, or anything that gets in its way. For a powerhouse like this, there's really not much more I could ask for. Maybe S35VN or even just Nitro V version would be icing on the cake. This knife looks intimidating, with a bite to back up its bark. Not quite a Bowie knife, but a real workhorse that's best for folks with larger hands. The Tops Silent Hero is a hefty thing, but some of that weight leans into making it more useful, especially if you have some branch chopping to do. The overall durability of this knife is impressive, but the balance of the knife is really what makes it stand out. It's just a little bit blade heavy, which helps it generate a lot of power on a swing and even makes batoning feel a little easier. The blade is 1095 high carbon and coated with an attractive black river wash finish. The choil is finger-holed, which is perfect for when you need to choke up on the knife and maintain a controlled cut. The handle's black linen micarta reinforced with 3 screw rivets. It's durable and provides a fantastic grip. There's a lanyard hole in the handle along with another in the finger guard. This is meant to allow the user to add a safety cord in order to improve the grip on the handle, which already allows for a solid grip. The black leather sheath is durable and looks great paired with this knife. Sometimes you buy an outdoor survival knife because it outperforms everything else. Sometimes you buy because it's just so cool. That's the case with the Tops Brothers of Bushcraft, a knife that's heavier and thicker than an SE4 and about twice as expensive. Man, do we love it. Apart from the fact that it looks incredible, what makes this knife so much fun to use is how well it can be used for chopping and batoning. The Scandi grind bites through the wood as if it was nothing, while the thickness of the blade and the heavy weight easily split small logs and branches. This is the definition of a beater knife, a tool that's made to take all the abuse you can throw at it and simply shrug it off. The heavy weight for its size can make it a little uncomfortable to carry on your belt for long periods of time, which is why the BOB comes with a modular Kydex sheath that can also be carried horizontally, scout style, to better balance the weight. Its size will also affect how long you'll be able to use it for bushcraft before it starts to tire you out. It's also really expensive, costing $285. In that price range, there are definitely other alternatives you could find that perform just as well, have better steel than the BOB's 1095, and weigh less. Still, we struggle to think of a knife that's so much fun to use around camp. Even when considering its drawbacks, the Tops BOB is an extremely efficient survival knife that's just too awesome to skip. This one's ruthless. It's a rock-hard steel dagger that's mischievously sharp. With its clip-point profile and serrations, it has the characteristics of a great EDC blade turned into a push dagger. The single edge means that it won't be considered a dagger in some jurisdictions. The Grim Ripper's strength as a push dagger goes to the handle. Although it's definitely a T-back style, there's a ledge for your thumb to prevent the knife from yawing in CQB. But it also lends support and control when using it in an EDC roll. The Kydex sheath is extremely well made and keeps it secure on your person. This blade oddly satisfies my sword fantasy, with its striking resemblance to the Greek Kappa sword. Weighing in at 31.2 ounces, the Top Knives Lilith feels heavy and features a slight inward curve. At 14 inches, the 1095 high-carbon steel blade is efficient and reduces the effort you need to finish the job. This thing is an eater of weeds, palmettos, and saplings, chewing through without remorse. The handle has the right amount of thickness and heft and is well contoured to make it very comfortable to wield. Because the handle tapers toward the pommel as you would expect to see with throwing knife designs, there's a finger ring that's chamfered to aid in retention. The full tang construction ensures durability and stability, making it capable of withstanding substantial abuse. This is the blade you take with you to the jungle to clear away miles of unsuspecting brush and vine. This is what I have to say about the Tops Yukon Hawk. Sometimes God does man a favor. Sporting a full tang and a unique handle, this Tomahawk is the perfect addition to your bug-out bag. Crafted by the same guys who brought us the Viking Warrior axe, this hatchet-sized Tomahawk is made of a 3/8-inch thick piece of 1095 carbon steel and has a large 4.87-inch cutting edge, which means you'll be able to tackle serious chopping tasks that most smaller hatchets can't do. The handles are made from a new material that mixes layers of G10 and rubber to provide maximum grip. The portion of the tang between the handle and the bit is rounded, allowing the user to choke up for detailed cuts. So this can do all the jobs of a hatchet and some of the jobs of a knife. It comes with a high-quality leather sheath that allows it to be carried multiple ways with safety in mind. It looks great, but looks only go so far. And in the case of the Yukon Hawk, its functionality takes over when it's time to get down to business.